Hey everybody, here we go. Today we're going to learn about multiplying matrices. To understand how to multiply matrices, first thing we need to talk about how you state the size of a matrix. So a matrix has rows which go horizontally and columns which go vertically. So what you want to do is you want to count the rows and columns, and it goes rows by column. So this has 2 rows and 3 columns, so this is known as a 2 by 3 matrix. When you multiply 2 matrices together, you need to state the size of both matrices, and what you want is you want the inside 2 numbers to be the exact same. If they are, then you can multiply these matrices. If they are not the same, you just cannot multiply them. Now, if they are the same, your final matrix, when you are done, known as the resulting matrix, will have those dimensions. Okay? So once you see an example, that'll make more sense. So anytime you're about to multiply matrices, what you want to do is you want to ask yourself first, can you multiply them? And if so, what is the resulting matrix size? So here we go. The size of this matrix is a 2 by 2, and the size of this matrix is a 2 by 1. What you do is you look at the inside 2 numbers. Are they the same? Yes, they are. So what is the size of your resulting matrix? It would be 2 by 1. Okay? So for the second one, think about it for a minute or two. Pause the video. And then, can they be multiplied? This guy is a 2 by 1. This is a 2 by 1. Are the inside numbers the same? No, they are not. They are different. So you just go straight to saying not possible. Cannot be multiplied. Okay? So now we're going to get into what you actually do if they can be multiplied. Now you're going to watch very carefully because this is something totally different than you've ever done. So what you need to do is basically you multiply across the rows of the first matrix as you go down the columns of the second matrix. So this is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 2. So our resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 2. So let's do it. The first thing you do is you start with row 1 and column 1, and you start working your way across. The first number you get to is 3, and then in the second matrix the first number you get to is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. And then you continue. So then your next number you get to is 2. As you go down, the next number you get to is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and you would add it to this. And you are done with that first step. So 15 plus 6 is 21. Okay? Now you have to do that 3 more times until you get every part of the resulting matrix. This was a 3. So now the next thing you want to do is pick the second row, but you're still going to go down the first column. So the first thing you're going to do is you get to a -1, and then you get to 5, so you have -5, plus jump over, jump down. 5 times 3 is 15. -5 plus 15 is 10. So now we're going to get the next area, we'll call it the top right, which would be row 1, column 2. So watch again carefully. We're going to jump to the right, we get to 3 first, we jump down, we get to -2 first. So we're going to multiply these 2 numbers. 3 times a -2 is a -6. And then you're going to jump over, jump down. 2 times 0 is 0. So we're just going to add 0, which is going to leave us with a -6. Okay? And then finally, the last area that you're trying to find is row 2, column 2. So we need to multiply row 2 of the first matrix with column 2 of the second. We start with -1 times the -2, which is 2, plus jump over, jump down. 5 times 0 is 0. So our final answer for that is 2. So then this would be your final answer. And that's how you multiply matrices. Like I said, it's a little tricky. You might want to go back, rewind that, watch it again, watch it until it makes sense. We're going to do another one right now, so feel free to watch. If you feel like you have a little bit of confidence in knowing what you might have to do, try it. So this is what we're going to do. Again, this is a 3 by 2. And this is a 2 by 2. The insides are the same, so your resulting matrix is going to be a 3 by 2. So I'm just going to set up a little bit of space here. Here we go. Step 1. We're going to do row 1 with column 1. Jump over, jump down. -2 times the -1 is 2, plus jump over, jump down. 3 times the -2 is a -6. So that's going to give us a -4 in row 1, column 1. We are done with the first step. As you can see, you're going to have 5 more steps here. So the next thing we want to do is, let's say row 1, column 1, or column 2. So row 1, column 2, -2 times 3 is a -6. Jump over, jump down. 3 times 4 is 12. So we get 6. We're done with that step. Now we want to pick, say, row 2. So we're going to do row 2, and we'll do column 1. 1 times the -1 is a -1. Jump over, jump down. -4 times the -2 is 8. We get 7. Okay, you should start to see the pattern of what's going on here. So we're going to finish this one. If you want, pause and see if you can finish the rest. And here we go. The next thing we're going to try to find is row 2, column 2. So that would be 1 times 3 is 3. Jump over, jump down. -4 times 4 is a -16. So we get a -13. Last row. So row 3, column 1. We start with 6 times the -1, which is -6. Jump over, jump down. 0 times the -2 is 0. So we get -6. And the last one, row 3, column 2. 6 times 3 is 18. Jump over, jump down. 0 times 4 is 0. So we get 18. Okay, so I know it's a little bit confusing. You might want to pause, rewind, watch it again, but that's how you multiply matrices. Okay? Alrighty. So now why don't you give these 3 a try, pause it, and I will go through them step by step for you when you're ready. Here we go. This is a 2 by 2. This is a 2 by 1. Yes, the inside numbers are the same. We are going to result in a 2 by 1 matrix. So all we need to do is this. 6 times 3 is 18. Jump over, jump down. 0 times 2 is 0. So we get 18. Next we're going to do row 2. There's only one column. So we're going to do 4 times 3, which is 12. Jump over, jump down. -2 times 4 is a -4. So we get 8, and that one is finished. Example number 2. This is a 2 by 1. This is a 2 by 2. And you can see right away this cannot be done. Not possible. Because the inside numbers are different. 1 and 2 are different. Can't be done. And finally the last one. This is a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2. So this will end up in a 2 by 2. First thing, we're going to do row 1, column 1. 3 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18. And 0 plus 18 is 18. Row 1, column 2. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 6 times a negative 5. So we have 3 and negative 30, which is a negative 27. Now we're going to go to row 2, column 1. And if it helps you, sometimes I suggest just draw a little line so you can follow the correct path. Whatever you want to do to make it easy on you. So row 2, column 1. 1 times 0 is 0. Jump over, jump down. 5 times 3 is 15. So we get 15. Get rid of those lines if it helped. And draw them again for the next one. And then we're going to do row 2, column 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times a negative 5 is a negative 25, giving us a negative 24, and you are done. Okay? If you understood those 3, you're probably good to go. And then I just have, of course, a nice little challenge problem for you. So here's the deal. This is what we're going to do with these. We're going to try to solve for x and y, but we need to be very clever. Now this is a challenge. If you think you can handle it, pause and give it a try. This is what we need to do. We need to come up with a clever way to find x first. So we know that x is in this one and only column, but we can't set x equal to a y, so we need to do something with either 6 or 19. So 6 would be in row 1 and column 1. So that means all we need to do is come up with an equation that multiplies row 1 with column 1, because it's the only column that's there. So we're going to just do our typical multiplication of matrices. We're going to start here. We have a negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2, plus, jump over, jump down. 1 times x is x. Jump over, jump down. 2 times 3 is 6. And that would be equal to 6, the row 1, column 1. And then from here, all we have to do is solve. We get x plus 4 equals 6. Just combined our like terms. And then x equals 2. Now that we know x is equal to 2, we're actually going to substitute it in to x right here. And now we're going to do it again to find y. However, we can only multiply row 3 by column 1 because that's where y is located. So we're just going to multiply across row 3 but back down column 1, and we will end up with, sorry about the eraser mistakes. So we're going to go 0 times 1 is 0, jump over, jump down. Negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4, jump over, jump down. 4 times 3 is 12, and that's equal to y, so y is equal to 8. Now I know that's a little bit tricky, a little bit confusing. This is one of those examples where you're going to want to practice and ask questions in class tomorrow if you found that difficult in any way. That's going to bring us to the end of our video. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.